this gives me a few more minutes to talk about Goel, which stands for Guarding Our Eternal Light. That's our Goel. Last week at Rosh Hashanah services, the Goel project was introduced. CNT is almost 45 years old, and in February, we will celebrate our 10-year anniversary at our current location. Reflecting over the last 10 years, it's time to ask ourselves some very important questions. Can we preserve what we have here? Can we guard our treasured home? Can we sustain our future? The answer is yes. So how do we get there? The Goel project intends to provide financial security by paying down the current mortgage on this building that sits on the land generously donated by the Greenspun family. Our long-term strategic plan is to create a series of events and programs to connect all our members, from the very young to our most senior. It is the Jewish way to hold ourselves to the highest moral standards by taking care of our own and passing on our Jewish tradition and heritage. A series of programming is being designed to support Goel, such as speaker series, special concerts, mentoring programs, and much more. Later tonight, you will hear from Rabbi about another component called Dorat. We hope that our legacy will be the cornerstone and foundation for a Jewish community here at Congregation Ner Tamid, and to never forget where we came from or the struggles we faced to maintain our heritage. So what does this mean to you? As we start year 5777, celebrating almost 6,000 years of community and tradition, it is now our time to invest and guarantee the future of CNT and to be part of something bigger than ourselves. We need your help to secure our home for generations to come, ensuring that this financial burden we carry is not our children's and grandchildren's to carry on into the future. Our goal is to raise $3 million. Therefore, we ask you to rise to the challenge and to become a Ner Tamid torchbearer. The great news is that we have already raised $500,000 thanks to some wonderful people who have already donated and embraced this endeavor. We are proud to say we have such mensches among us. As torchbearers, they have stepped up to send a message to all that Congregation Ner Tamid will continue to be strong, successful, and light the path for our future. I encourage you all to join them. Thank you and good night. Now we begin our service. We ask you for your quiet attention to our violinist. Thank you so much.
Kujentif, everyone, and welcome to our family Yom Kippur evening high holiday services. As you walked in, you should have received the machzor we've been using for the past few years, that you might worship with us. This is different than the new machzor that you find that we're using for our more traditional services. And so we turn to page 18. Today is Yom Kippur. At a Shabbat service, we would say Shabbat Shalom. On any other holiday, we might say Chag Sameach or Happy Holiday. But not on Yom Kippur. On Shabbat and other holidays, we spend time at the temple. At home, we sit around our tables and sing songs, say the Kiddush to bless the wine, and eat special foods, but not on Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur, we greet each other with the special phrase, Gamar Chatima Tova. May your name be sealed in the book of life for the year to come. On Yom Kippur, most Jews try not to eat any food the whole day. We call this act of not eating fasting, for Yom Kippur is a day of fasting. Responsive. Yom Kippur is a day for looking deeply at ourselves.
Yom Kippur is a quiet day. We come to temple to think and pray.
Our thoughts turn to God and the special part God plays in our lives.
What kind of person have I been?
How have I acted in this year that has passed?
Did I always do the right thing? Did I always do my best?
We look back to ask, could I have done better if I tried a little harder?
Did I blame others when I should rightly have blamed myself?
Yom Kippur is a time for saying, I'm sorry, and really meaning it.
On Yom Kippur, we remember what we did so we may learn to do better.
We have a beautiful tradition at this service of inviting up the women who are the backbone of our office. Joyce Herlins, Lynette Solomon, Linda Rosen, Beth Davis, Roberta Unger, Lonnie Kritzler, Debbie Luce, Regina Baker, Melissa Lemoyne. All of them work so hard as staff to make sure that our congregation is exciting and vibrant. They have the honor of kindling the Yontif lights.
commands us to kindle the lights of the Day of Atonement.
Baruch atah Adonai
In a few moments, we'll play that beautiful melody that we heard just as services were starting, the melody of the Kol Nidre. And as we listen to it, we will be holding the Torahs of our congregation. And so I ask that these families come forward and just quietly wait right here until we're ready to pass you the Torahs. The Lazar family, the Wood family, the Kurtzman family, Rob Laurent, the Wertheimer family, and Don Ross. If you all just wait right here, and when the time comes, we'll pass you the Torahs. Page 19. Repentance is more than saying, I'm sorry, more than embarrassment, more than the discomfort of being caught, more than an effort to avoid punishment. It is a sincere change within, tshuva, a sincere turning back to a better path. Such tshuva lets us live at peace with ourselves. People sometimes suppose that repentance is too high-priced. They look at what they will have to give up, at appetites they will have to curb, at habits they will have to break, at things they will have to set aside. They forget the fact that no matter what the price of repenting may be, it is never as high as the price of not repenting. The best cure for a sense of guilt is a sense of duty, and no later hour will ever be better for the purpose of repenting than this very year. And so we all rise. An old and cherished prayer is recited by Jews everywhere each Yom Kippur evening. Its name is Kol Nidre. Its music, it's haunting and ancient. And we rise, we listen to Or Zarua La Tzadik, and then the Kol Nidre. Together, do not hold us to our promises to you, O God, if we cannot keep them. For we mean well when we make promises, but you know we are only human, and human beings sometimes forget, sometimes promise things more than they can keep, and often make mistakes. Together on 19, Master of the universe, today I forgive everyone who has hurt me and everyone who has done me wrong. I forgive them whether they did it on purpose or did it by accident. I forgive them whether they hurt me by what they said or whether they hurt me by what they did. Today, I forgive them. Just as I forgave everyone who did me wrong, I ask all those whom I have hurt to forgive me. I am sorry for those things which I did on purpose, and I am sorry for those things which I did by accident. I ask to be forgiven for the things I said which hurt others, and for the things I did which hurt others. Adonai, please wash away the things I have done which missed the mark. Help me to make sure that I never repeat any of these wrong things again. Bottom of page 20, we continue. Your world is like a puzzle, God, and all the pieces fit together. The sun lights up the earth by day.
Moon and stars glow at night.
Icy winds make us shiver in winter.
Gentle winds cool us in summer.
Red and brown leaves crunch beneath us in fall.
Flowers smell sweet in the spring.
Awake is a time to play and learn and love.
Asleep is a chance to rest and grow.
Your world is like a puzzle, God, and all the pieces fit together.
We praise you, eternal God. You created the world and all its wonderful pieces.
Judaism begins with the commandment, "Hear, O Israel." But what does it really mean to hear?
The person who listens to the news and thinks only of how it will affect their own business hears, but it is not listening.
The person who walks amid the songs of birds but doesn't have the time to listen to their song hears but is not listening.
The one who listens to the words of a friend or a child and does not catch the note of urgency, notice me, help me, care about me, hears but is not listening.
People who stifle the sound of their own conscience and believe they have done enough already hear but are not listening. On this Yom Kippur, O God, sharpen my ability to hear.
May I hear the music of the world and the cries of children and the needs of my family.
May I hear the call for help of a lonely soul and the sound of a breaking heart.
May I hear the words of my friends and also their unspoken pleas and dreams.
May I hear within myself the yearnings that are struggling for expression.
May I hear you, O God. May we hear you, O God.
We rise for the Shema. What does it mean to be a Jew? You shall be holy.
In the face of many, to stand before the one, in the presence of fragments, to make them whole.
What does it mean to be a Jew? You shall be a holy people.
To hold fast to our vision of truth, to retain our faith in tomorrow.
Holy in our past is the memory of redemption from Egyptian bondage.
Holy in our day is the hope of a redemption we still await.
Twice holy in our past are those who gave their lives to hallow this world.
Holy is the Jew today and tomorrow, who bears witness to the goodness of life.
And holy are those whose lives are songs in freedom's cause. Page 24, it's a special prayer. It helps if you have a child or a mom or dad or grandparent next to you. Because this is a prayer where we talk to each other, and it's always very touching. Parents, sometimes I do things you do not understand. Children, sometimes I do things you do not understand. I am willing to listen, even though sometimes it is hard for me to truly hear you. I need to discover my own truths, but I will try to hear what you say. I will strive to listen to your needs, be sensitive to the needs of others, and not lose sight of my own needs. I will strive to listen to your needs, be sensitive to the needs of others, and discover my own needs as I come to learn more about myself. I will try to see the wonders of the world through your eyes, share my joys with you, and to find worth in the ideals you value. You are important to me, and I will try to show you my love each and every day. I shall always try to make our time together meaningful. Although I do not always tell you, you are important to me, and I will search for even more ways to grow closer to you and make more room for you in my life. May this new year be a year in which the hearts of parents will turn toward their children and the hearts of children turn toward their parents. Amen. We rise for the Amidah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Raya, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Be'etzot Sarah.
Of our ancestors, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Amos, Isaiah, and Micah, a heritage has come down to us along all the painful paths our people have traveled. When others worship gods indifferent to goodness, our mothers and fathers found the one whose law unites all people in justice and love.
A heritage of faith has come down to us out of the life of our people.
When knowledge was the secret lore of princes and priests, our sages opened their doors to all who sought understanding.
A heritage of learning has come down to us out of the life of our people.
Please be seated. There is holiness when we strive to be true to the best we know. There is holiness when we promote family harmony.
There is holiness when we love truly and honestly and unselfishly.
There is holiness when we are willing to be laughed at for what we believe in.
There is holiness when we forget what divides us and remember what unites us.
There is holiness when we remember the lonely and bring cheer into a dark corner.
There is holiness when we share our bread, our ideas, our enthusiasm.
On Yom Kippur, we take one last long look behind, especially to see how we might have done just a little better, seeing the things that we would really like to change.
Baruch atah Adonai, melech kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael, v'yom HaKippurim.
take a few moments for silent prayer, reading the meditation on the bottom of page 26 or the top of page 29. This is the time in the service when we think about loved ones and friends who are in need of our prayers for Misha Berach. The words Misha Berach mean the one who blesses. In saying these words, we call upon God to enter into our lives to bring hope and healing. And if we happen to be a caregiver, someone who is there to help other people and to minister to them, we ask that God emboldens you as well with patience and hope and love. So if you'd like to say the name of someone special, please stand and say their names, as many names as you would like, as we call upon God to watch over our loved ones for the Misha Berach. Now we as a community, we stand in solidarity. Page 27. The Hebrew word chet is usually translated as sin. We sin when we make a mistake or when we do the wrong thing, when we know what is right. May it be your will, Adonai, the God of our ancestors, to forgive our sins and grant us a new beginning, for we have missed the mark. For the sins we have sinned against you together by acting selfishly,
by
hurting others, by not respecting parents and teachers, by lying, by being greedy, by gossiping, by acting irresponsibly, by cheating, by rushing to do evil. For all these sins, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, and grant us a new beginning. With thoughts of God uppermost in our minds, we are ready to ask for God's forgiveness. There were times when we did not tell the truth. We were not honest. There were times when we failed to respect our religion and our synagogue. There were times when we used God's name to make promises that we did not keep. For these things, for all the things we have done wrong, we ask God's forgiveness. And we say, for the sins which we committed, we are sorry. For not always trying to be the best we could be. For the times when we forgot to honor our parents, grandparents, and teachers. For times we acted badly even when no one was watching. For times we were unfair to others. For times we hurt others without their knowing. For times we blamed others for things we had done. V'al kulam Eloha slichot. For all these, O God of forgiveness and love, slach lanu, forgive us, machal lanu, pardon us, kaper lanu, bring us close to you on this Yom Kippur, this day of atonement. O God of forgiveness and love, on this Yom Kippur, help us change our ways. Give us always the courage and strength to do what is right and what is pleasing in your sight. Be with us when we do well, but even more in our moments of weakness, at times when we miss the mark. Show us your love and patience. Grant us always the wisdom to change and the strength to try. So turn to your parents, your grandparents, friends, brothers, sisters, whoever is sitting beside you, and give that person a hug. Now, repeat after me, looking at each other, saying to each other these words. Slicha. I am sorry.
I am sorry
For anything I might have said that hurt you. I am sorry.
I am sorry.
For anything I might have done
Anything I might have done
that hurt you.
that hurt you,
I am sorry.
I am sorry.
For anything I forgot to do
Anything I forgot to do
that I should have done.
that I should have done,
I am sorry.
I am sorry.
Slicha.
Slicha,
Please forgive me.
please forgive me.
From deep inside, from our heart of hearts, with all the love we have to offer, Let us say to one another, Salachti, I forgive you.
Salachti, I forgive you.
On page 31, we turn to this beautiful prayer at the heart of our service, Avinu Malkeinu, in which we beseech God to hear our voices. We call upon Jen and Jay Plugenkohl, Renee Diamond, Alyssa and Eric Polis, Kylie and Adina, Jolie and John Brislin, Hannah and Jack, for the honor of accompanying the art curtains for Avinu Malkeinu. Let us all rise. Half of you go on the left. Half of you go on the left, half on the right. And magic, the door's open. Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu, hear our voice.
Avinu Malkeinu Chatanu Lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we have sinned against you. Avinu Malkeinu Chamol Aleinu V'Alol Aleinu V'Tap'enu.
Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our children. Avinu Malkeinu Kale Dever V'Cherev V'Ra'av Me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, make an end to sickness, war, and famine. Avinu Malkeinu Kale Kol Tsar Mastin Me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, make an end to all oppression. Avinu Malkeinu Kotvenu B'Sefer Chayim Tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu, inscribe us for blessing in the book of life. Avinu Malkeinu Chadesh Aleinu Shana Tova.
Avinu Malkeinu, let the new year be a good year for us. Avinu Malkeinu Harem Kerem Yisrael Emecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, give strength to your people Israel. Avinu Malkeinu Chanenu V'Anenu Ki Ein Banu Ma'asim. Asei Manu Tzedakah V'Chesed. Hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, be gracious and answer us, for we have little merit. Treat us generously and with kindness, and be our help.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu V'Aneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu V'Aneinu, Ki Ein Banu Ma'asim. Asei Imanu.
Good Yentiv, everyone. I wanted to share with you a couple of my favorite stories that talk about the importance of family, importance of time, and how we juggle all our various priorities. This is a story of a teacher who stood before his philosophy class. He had some items in front of him. So use your imagination. When the class began, he wordlessly took a very large mayonnaise jar, put it empty in front of the class. And then he proceeded to fill it with golf balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pretty full. He looked at the students and said, "Do you think that mayonnaise jar is full?" And they go, yeah, it's full. Then he went and bent down, and he had another jar, and it was filled with pebbles. And he began to pour the pebbles into the jar. And he shook the jar lightly, and the pebbles rolled down into the open areas between the golf balls. And then he asked them, "What do you think now? Is the jar full?" And they looked and they said, "Yeah, I guess it's really full now." Then he went down and dipped below, and there was one more box, and this one was filled with sand. The professor next picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar. And of course, the sand filled up everything else. And he asked the class once more, "Is the jar full?" And the students looked at it now with the golf balls and the pebbles and all the sand, and they said, "Yeah, now it's really full." Then the professor did one more thing, and he produced 2 cups of coffee from under the table, and he poured the entire cups of coffee into the jar, effectively filling the empty space between the sand, and all the students laughed. "Now, is this jar full?" "Yes, Professor, the glass is full." And then he went on to make a point. He said, "This jar that was once empty, that I put the golf balls, then the pebbles, then the sand, and cup of coffee, it represents a metaphor for life. The golf balls are the important things: your God, your family, your children, your health, your friends, your favorite passions, things that if everything else was lost and only they remained, your life would still be full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, like your job, your house, your car. And the sand is everything else, the small stuff. So think about it for a moment. If I would have put the sand in the jar first, there would have been no room for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same goes for life. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff, you will never have room for the things that are important to you. So pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Play with your kids. Take time to get your medical checkups. Take your partner out to dinner. Play another 18. There'll always be time to clean the house and fix the disposal. But take care of the golf balls first, the things that really matter. Set your priorities, for the rest is just sand. I love that story. It's a great metaphor. I think it would be better and best if we could all embrace it as we greet this new year. For most of our worries and the things that we think about are really that sand, the little stuff. What did he mean? What did he say? Well, I got to do this. I got to pick up the dry cleaning. All these things that fill our mind with angst and anxiety and the to-do lists that continue to grow. And sometimes we forget the important things in life. Oftentimes when a couple's come to me and they want to get married, I like to ask them a simple question. And I say to them, "What is important?" And they go, "Well, what do you mean?" and our jobs. Well, they think. A lot of them have trouble answering it, and I get a little worried. I said, I want you to look at each other for a moment. That's what's important. It's the two of you. It's your family. It's your sense of love for each other. And I'm going to tell you something. A wedding takes as long to plan as the time you have to plan it. You could plan a wedding in a day. You could plan it in a year. You could plan it in 2 years, and that's the focus of your attention as you plan. But how much time do we take to plan our lives? We don't, because we get caught in that sand. In so doing, it's not like we're looking forward to things that we have really thought about and how to nourish that relationship and how to keep it strong, how to keep that love alive and to let the people in our lives know that they are the most important people. It's a family service, so this message goes both ways. It's kids talking on the phone to their grandparents. It's adult children calling their parents. It's parents looking at their children and giving them a little bit of slack and letting them develop a sense of right and wrong with your guidance, but also easing their mind when they are so stressed out so that they can see what those golf balls of life are really about. Because they too, as they are little, get caught up in that sand. And from your adult perspective, you know, well, it will just be sand. So what is it that you want them to remember? And what are those hurts and those pains and those angst that we remember from our own childhood? If a kiss would make those boo-boos go away, they'd all be gone. But what remains is a thought, a memory. And so we have a chance on this high holidays to reflect on what is really important and what we put into that jar first. I love that story. And I love the ending when the student says, "Hey, professor, what about the cups of coffee? You forgot to talk about them." And he said, "Oh, I'm glad you asked. Listen, when all is said and done and you've got all your priorities worked out and you've taken care of that small stuff, don't forget, there's always time to have a cup of coffee with a friend." Good Yontif.
At this time, I want to invite up our youth choir, our Kochavim, our stars, to join us for the next song.
Page 32 is the Aleinu. We call upon Dolly Farrow, Christine Rob Levrant, Noah and David, Lisa Marquette, Noah and Zach, Patricia and Howard Starr for the honor of accompanying the art curtains as they are open. Page 32 is our Kaddish prayer. You may be seated for a moment. We think of those who have died in the past few weeks. Those whose yortzites are recalled as well. So we say Kaddish for Thelma Marcos, David Ostrov, Shimon Perez, Albert Mizrahi, Henry Berman, David Olenek, and Charles Johnson. And we say the yortzites of Lillian Appel, Ella Baskow, Sylvia Began, Meyer Bennett, Deborah Blinder, Morris Bloom, Denise de Arkland, Alfred Dellen, Irene J. Dellen, Charlie Etkoff, Don Feldman, Donald Feldman, Jerry Friedman, Rosa Garcia, Jacob Goldstein, Jean Gorlick, Saul Halpert, Robert Huyenga, Norman Kurzweil, Martha Lenoble, Dorothy Levitt, David Mazur, Eddie Mintz, Jack Nitzkin, Gloria Reed, Jan Reisner, Ellen Rosenblum, Adelaide Sachs, Irving Schiffman, Manny Schwartz, Gertrude Steiner, Glenn Wilson, and Doris Heumann. If you would like to recall the name of a loved one who was not mentioned, please stand and say their name. As we think of all these who have touched our hearts, we rise to recite our Kaddish prayer. Yit Gadal of Yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, B'yalma Divrach Hirute V'yamlich Malchute, B'chayechon V'yamechon V'chaed Echol Be Israel, B'agalav Izman Kari V'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Olmei Almaya, Yit Barach V'yishtabach V'yit Ba'ar V'yit Ramam V'yit Naseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei Kusha B'richu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tush Bechata V'nechamata, Dam Yiram B'yalma V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlomo Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim, Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael V'imru, Amen. O Se Shalom B'mramav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael V'imru, Amen. You may be seated. Mindy, do you have any announcements you want to make? No? Well, Rob's going to do them? Okay.
Thank you, everyone. On behalf of the Temple Board and membership, I'd like to thank our BEMA guests, Della Costa, Mindy Unger, Don Ross, and Lonnie Kritzler. Rabbi and Cantor, thank you for a wonderful Kol Nidre service. To our accompanist, Ricky Reinhardt, Youth Choir Director, Lori Frankel, and the CNT Teen Choir, thank you very, very much for sharing your beautiful musical talents and making our service truly special. Tonight's Kol Nidre was performed by violinist Lee Schreiber. Thank you for beginning our service with such beautiful music. There are always so many to thank during the High Holy Days. Please take time to read the thank you poster in the main lobby. The rest of the service schedule is as follows. Our Tot family service begins tomorrow at 9 a.m. in the Beit Tefillah. Check-in for the religious school program begins at 9:35 in front of the Beit Tefillah for kindergarten through 5th grade. The Yom Kippur traditional service is at 10 a.m. And during the early afternoon break, we have several options. 15 minutes after the end of the morning service, Rabbi Axelrod will be speaking about a new project called Dorot in the Beit Tefillah. You can enjoy a movie, Tuesdays with Maury, in the Beit Tefillah at 1:15. And there will be a 20-minute meditation session on the Cantor back patio at 2:30. The healing service is at 3, and the afternoon service at 4, Yizkor at 5, and Neela and Havdalah will follow Yizkor. Lots of exciting things as well for Sukkot. Sunday at 9:30 is a sukkah raising, and we invite everyone to participate. Sunday night, we have our Sukkot service led by Rabbi and Cantor on the Cantor patio under the sukkah. That begins at 6:30 p.m. Tuesday is our annual potluck in the sukkah. We're going to have a very large sukkah, so everyone will fit. And we ask you to bring something and RSVP to the temple office with what you're bringing. And Sunday, October 23rd, is our Simchat Torah service featuring the Shabbatones at 6 o'clock. Also on the 23rd, please note that religious school is at 4:30 in the afternoon, not the regular morning time, and will lead right into the Simchat Torah service. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. All right, so quick quiz, because I got you to remember a couple things. Number one, tomorrow, right after services, I'm going to have a 15-minute meeting where I'm going to talk about Dorot. It's the subject of my sermon in about an hour. Dorot is an intergenerational program, and it would be great if you are looking for a way to volunteer. It is going to involve initially us making home visits for elderly who are homebound. And so if you think that would be a wonderful mitzvah to do, maybe once a week, you'd bring them challah and wine or just spend some time with them. There'll be some training. It would be a great mitzvah. We have over 40 families who have homebound loved ones. And that's going to be the start of Dorot. I'll talk about it tonight, but if you think this would be something your family wants to be involved in, make a point for staying for 15 minutes after tomorrow morning service. Number two, what night is tonight? Tonight is Tuesday, right? Next Tuesday night is when we have our Sukkot potluck. So I know we're in temple a lot, but what is Sukkot without our dairy potluck? So you got to bring, it's going to be right after religious school. You bring a dairy dish, it's Israeli theme. Bring food for 10 because I eat a lot of food. And the sukkah this year, when you go out, you're going to see this magnificent sukkah that Jeremy, where's Jeremy? He's out there. That's the Cantor's husband, Jeremy. He spearheaded this project to make the sukkah like 5 times the size. So you got to go look at it. It's just kind of framed. And our new Mensch Club was out there, and they've started to put it together. But this Sunday morning at 9:30, we need everybody's help to decorate it and to really put the sides together. So if you don't remember anything, next Tuesday night and this Sunday morning, we need to see you. Thank you so much. And I know the Cantor had one more thing to add.
So first, we want to give a big thank you to Lori Frankel for making sure that our teens were rehearsed this summer and ready for this very service. And we're so thankful to all of them for being here, and to her and to Ricky for rehearsing us and preparing us and for leading this choir. And I want to give a special shout out to our seniors, which I'm in denial because in the 2 short years that I've been here, they have become like, I've gone to Israel and New York and all these special places with them, and they are, well, not with you, but with Samantha.
Don't go start crying already.
I know, I can't cry yet. But we're going to, this is our last time that they can be part of our teen service, and they have to join the adult choir when they get back from college. So we are celebrating them this year for sure.
And I wanted to do a special shout out. So first of all, Crystal and Joey and Sammy, stand up. Those are our seniors. Crystal has been in the choir for 10 years nonstop, and she became a song leader. And then Sammy and Joey brought something that has been magnificent for the last 2 years, and that's harmony. And so I can't thank you guys enough for all that you do, and we really appreciate it. So shout out, and we're going to miss you.
That's great. Very good. Listen, I got so many more announcements, but the next service calls, so you know.
How about a closing song?
That's right. Read the e-blast, look at the bulletin, look on Facebook, and let's join together in our final song. Thank you, Cantor, so very much for being a wonderful clergy partner. And we conclude with Reaching for Peace. Very nice.